Well, hello there, friends. I hope that your Thursday, February 14, 2019 is going well. Whether you did anything for Valentine's Day or not. So, I guess if you've been watching my videos for any amount of time, you know that I tend to struggle with a whole lot of the past, and that's definitely going to be one of the little challenges that I'm going to have in life, is to basically make peace with and get over the past and not be so constantly dwelling on it, remembering, etc. It's sort of that late middle school / high school period of life that I'm always, almost sometimes on a daily basis, thinking about. Not even college, It's like I know I went to college and I can barely remember anything from it. Most days I forget that I even went, but it's just high school, And if you think it's bad now, it used to be much worse. I remember when I graduated college in particular, I was just constantly, it got so bad where I think I was like every day grabbing my yearbooks and just spending hours almost every single day just going through them and remembering this or that or this person and this moment, or if I had done this and that it got so bad I went and just threw all those fucking things away, because I knew it was like, man, I'm just stuck, can't let go. And isn't that sort of interesting? Some people want to get away from the past, others want to go back to the past. And I think I know why it is, at least in my case. Definitely. It's because it was probably one of the last times, probably the last time, where it sort of felt that you were on an equal level, so to speak, with other people. Especially in middle school, and definitely the cracks very much started to appear in high school. It was sort of interesting how the first 2 years were absolutely awful, and I was definitely the most suicidal I ever was in life in freshman and sophomore year, and then the remaining 2 years were much better. So it was kind of that emotional, duality, where you experience really, really low 2 years and then much higher 2 years. So it just kind of gets imprinted in your head, where it's kind of funny how, you have some really shitty time, so why are you like always thinking about wishing you could go back to that time, right? Well, wasn't all bad, but like I said, it was probably about the last time where I felt like I was on a vaguely equal level with other people. And afterwards it becomes very evident with everything kind of in your life. And it's something that obviously you can't hold on forever. It's a whole lot of... I just remember that summer between sophomore and junior year, where it seemed like a lot of the darkness had sort of passed. And that's sort of the time that I think about, of like, man, if you could go back to any time, that's where you'd go. But always thinking about, If only you had done this or that, or been this way, could have had a much different experience, and maybe that would have set things differently in life, wouldn't it? But obviously hindsight is 2020. So I appreciate my parents a lot, and I know I've kind of mentioned this probably before, where about the only thing I wish that had happened differently is maybe somebody had shown a little bit more interest in giving you maybe some sort of guidance or something. Maybe things would have turned out differently. I don't know. Like, hey, what are you interested in, kid? Have you thought about going to the library and getting some books on so-and-so during the summer rather than just sitting in your room playing video games? The reason why I say that, folks, is I was definitely a mess. It was almost like I knew things existed. Well, you'll get what I mean, hopefully. But until somebody points it out to me as a thing to do, it's almost like I couldn't even... It was like almost not a thing that I could do, if that makes sense. And, I mean, when I finally got my job here, many, many years ago, been at right now, I remember my parents told me, oh, hey, have you thought about joining a gym to lose weight? And I know this is going to sound absolutely stupid, but this is how dumb I was. Yeah, well, you're still dumb. Well, okay. But this is how just like screwed up my head was. When they said that, it was like this breakthrough mental moment of like, oh shit, that's actually a good idea. It was like I knew what a gym was, and I knew what exercise was, obviously, but it wasn't until somebody told me of like, hey, why don't you consider like joining a gym, that I just like never even made the connection. That's why I say, like, I wonder, if somebody would have had conversation about, hey, what are you interested in? What do you possibly like to do or learn? Have you considered going to do this? I just never even had a single conversation about college until literally graduating. So, and I don't want that, I don't want to be like bitter about it all. It's just kind of a, what if. But at the same time, folks, at the same exact time, I fully acknowledge that would I have even listened if somebody sat down with me and was like, hey man, hey kid, oh, you like the computer games, whatever, well, hey, have you considered possibly learning how to make some yourself? Let's go to a library, get you a library card, maybe get some books on programming, something like that. It's nice to think, right? It's nice to think. But would I have even listened at all? Good question. Good freaking question, folks. Or is this how it was always going to be no matter what? That sometimes it's just... You got to go through years and years and years and years of just stagnation, apathy, depression, etc., until your mind can finally on its own make the proper connections, etc. So, yeah, I don't know, it's just can't live in the past. I know, can't live in the past. You can't change it now. Why do you even hold on, you know? It's just hard to let go sometimes. It really is. Even though I know it can't change it now. And maybe if you had even had the experiences that you wanted, whatever that ultimately is, back then, maybe it wouldn't have really mattered that much. It's just about one of the last times where it felt like you still had some vaguely equal footing to people around you. And it wasn't this sort of disconnect of being very far behind on seemingly much of everything in life compared to others. Because it's not like the rest of the world stopped and is waiting for you to catch up, right? But I don't know. And I think a part of it too is kind of letting go of the present in a weird way too, where you're like, why do I keep doing things that I know nothing exists there? It's like, why do I sometimes bother thinking about some girls? Just as an example, you know, I don't care anymore, but as an example, it's like, why do you spend years pining after girls at work or something, even though you know they're not interested because you got nothing else, right? Not building anything else, nothing new, etc. So yes, folks, that's gonna be a very large thing for me. Yeah, the only large thing for you is that gut. It's gonna be to just make peace with the past and just fucking let it go and actually build something new. It'll be easier said than done. I don't know. Maybe though that's why it's so hard to let go, is because you've never tried to actually build anything new, just constantly holding on to fragments of the past, trying to make the memory give you something. I don't know. But maybe it just had to be this way no matter what also. It had to be this way because you wouldn't have listened any which way that... And this is why I have a vague bit of hopefulness for the future, despite as screwed up as it seemingly might be, even being older and all that, is that if there's anything I learned, folks, is I've got a weird, fucked up and long development time. It takes me a long ass time to finally get around to doing things and getting over them, but when it finally does, it's like it wasn't ever a problem. But at the same time, you know, by the time you finally get around to doing some things, will it matter? Well, who knows? It's at least worth a shot to see, right? But it is sort of sad to think about the things that you missed out on because of well, I don't know. like I said, it's the rest of the world didn't stop to wait for you to catch up, but the rest of the world also has its own problems, so doesn't mean that you can't make something of your own. So anyway, folks, that's going to be that video. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.